In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hey, this is Sophie, and you're listening to my dad, Vince. Dad, you owe me $20 now.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man, Vince Delisio. And what's your last name?
It's Delisio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Today is Saturday, April 6th, 2024. It's also the start of a very special month called Autism Acceptance Month, and we're going to learn more about that as the show goes on. And my name is Vince Delisio. I am joined in studio. I am so happy, so excited that we have an opportunity to be here every week, to be with you, that you are willing to take time out of your morning, even if it's 5 minutes, 2 minutes, an hour, all 2 hours. Wow. I know my mom listens all 2 hours. Hi, Mom. I don't know how many others do, but it would be nice if you all did, because you miss a minute, you miss a lot. This is the kind of show that you can't just jump in and out of. You got to listen, because we move very fast here. And we are in studio today. When I say we, I mean it's not just me. There's a couple of us here. And I want to introduce, and no offense, I'm not going to talk about you at all today. So you're not included. But the man of the hour here, the man of the 2 hours, the man, the legend, the myth, his name is Jason Goldie. Jason is a broadcaster extraordinaire from the Cronkite School of Mass Communications at Arizona State University. I say that every week. We have a lot of team members here from Cronkite. Why? Well, because first of all, they're among the best in the country. But secondly, we actually, I'm going to say this, we actually kick ass in terms of being an intern provider for Cronkite. We are their top intern provider, hands down. We provide more opportunities for their students. I think at last count, we have something like 10% of the Cronkite students that are serving internships that do it with the Varsity Sports Show each semester. That's a high number because normally media outlets, the guys on the other end of the dial, I'm not going to say who they are, but they happen to be on at the same time as me, as us. They might have one intern that's, that they get to write a story or something. But ours, what makes us popular is they're sitting in here in the studio, they're doing the grunt work, they're doing the work, and they're delivering the news. And the idea is, look, if you're going to produce it, you're going to deliver it. And Jason Goldie is, no pun intended, he's the gold standard of broadcasters. It's in his last name, so it must be true. Jason, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
You know what? You have been committed to this program, to this internship for 2 semesters now, which is rare. Most of our interns, 99% of them, most of them, they'll say, man, I'm done. I'm out. I'm going to go and do something else. But you came back. Are you having a good time with this thing?
I'm having an amazing time.
Wow. Okay. And tell me what you like so much about this internship.
Mostly the Calling play-by-play.
Yeah, you like calling games, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite sport? I know you have a favorite sport, and we happen to be in it right now.
Baseball.
Yeah, hands down, it's baseball. You've had a lot of fun with that because you're a big numbers guy. You're a big stats guy.
Yeah.
That's not me. I can't process all that, percentages and batting averages and K and RBI, and I don't even know those. And I barely know my own initials, so that's pretty tough. What does RBI stand for?
Runs batted in.
Okay. Yeah, and when somebody said that was an error, I usually think it's something I did wrong during a game. It's got nothing to me. It's got nothing to do with what's an error on the field. What is that?
It's like when one of the outfield players makes a mistake.
Okay, so it's mistakes. Yeah, see, I'm used to that. So when people say, "Man, Vince, you made an error," it usually means I said something wrong.
Any defensive player.
I offended somebody. Oh, okay. So yes. So anyway, joined in studio. Jason Goldie. Jason's mom's also here. Her name's Carol, so we'll just humor her. Hi, Carol. How are you? Yeah. I don't think I'm on. Yeah, you're on. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Okay, there. You had your 15 minutes. Now we're going to focus on Jason. No. Carol's great. She's been an amazing addition to the team. She's our team mom. So what do you think of that, Jason, to have your mom as our team mom? You like that?
Yeah.
The only thing that's missing is like Pop Warner football. She needs to bring the sliced oranges during breaks.
I bring snacks.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I'm just never there when you bring them. So
I bring snacks and cushions and chairs.
Oh, cushions and chairs. And
Umbrellas.
canopies once in a while. You bring the
Canopies.
canopies when it's hot. It's just that you never do these things but maybe I'm not around enough. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. So anyway, so it's been a lot of fun. We've had a big semester this semester because we start off doing basketball. You hadn't called basketball games before, had you?
No, I hadn't.
And since you've been doing that, you've been, I'm going to say it again, you've been kicking ass. So the FCC won't call us on that. We could say that word. So you've been doing really well with it, and then we transitioned to baseball, which is your sport, and a natural transition also is you've been doing softball. Have you called any volleyball yet? No.
No, I haven't.
Or beach volleyball, which is a brand new sport for us too. It's been a lot of fun. Buckeye and Mountain View. The rest of you guys, the rest of you schools, get on board. We've had a lot of fun with beach volleyball. So. But yeah, it's been an amazing semester, and it's going to be an amazing day. We've got a lot of good stuff this week. What I love about this format is, we're out there doing our thing during the week, right, Jason? We're reporting, we're putting packages together, prepping things for the show. We're doing games, we're doing outreach, we're meeting people. We've got the platform. People are like, oh, yeah, I know you. You're that guy and all that. And then Saturday morning, we get to talk about it live, and not a lot of people get to do that. So it's a pretty cool format. You've co-hosted the radio show before. Have you had fun doing this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no stress?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. I'll take that as meaning no stress. So yeah. Okay. And we're going to talk about the other thing is, and you have no issues talking about this whatsoever because this is a part of your life. Being Autism Acceptance Month, you were diagnosed at a young age of being on the autism spectrum.
Yep.
And how's that been for you? Have people been pretty nice and you've had accommodations and things but you've also had to work hard, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk about, and we'll get into it as the show goes on, but I want to talk about some of because I feel like I don't feel like things are a disability. I think that things give you an extra ability, and I think you have some special talents that we're going to talk about as the show goes on. You bailed us out of some jams. Your special talents have bailed us out of jams. So we're going to get into that as the show goes on. And we're going to talk about other things. Today, we've got live features. We always have live features. We always have live guests because we want to stay relevant. We want to stay current. And we've got a lot of prepped things. We've got a lot of stories from around the country from our team. As you guys remember, when I say you guys, it's a term of endearment. I mean males and females. But as you guys remember, we have interns from all over the country working with us. We've got interns as far away as Gainesville, Florida. Okay, we've got two amazing team members out there. We've got two at Texas Southern University in Houston. More about Houston as the show goes on. We've got two down at the University of Arizona in Tucson. We've got four at University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and we have 3 at Grand Canyon University here in town. And then I forget how many we have at ASU. It's got to be close to 20. There's a lot of you guys, Jason, right? Yeah. So as the show goes on, you're going to hear those segments. And they clearly, our team members identify themselves. Hi, this is Vince DeLisio from Grand Canyon University or whatever. You're going to hear where they're from, and it's kind of cool when you hear how all these nice folks, and we've got a couple high schoolers too, you're going to hear how all these folks kind of work together and how they just come together for a common cause and a common purpose, and that purpose being the Varsity Sports Show and being storytellers, and they aren't the talent. You are the talent. The talent is the topics and the subjects that we are featuring every single week. Now, we're going to transition. We're going to go to our first report, and let's take it away, Aaron Decker.
The West Coast Report.
This is Angelo Scaturro with the University of Nevada, Las Vegas for Varsity Sports Show. Here's a recap of all the baseball action from the Mountain West this past week. Last Saturday, the Fresno State Bulldogs traveled to Las Vegas to face the UNLV Rebels. The Bulldogs took care of business and beat UNLV 5-3. On Monday, there were 5 games on the slate. We start off with the New Mexico Lobos taking on the Arizona Wildcats. The Wildcats walked away with the victory 9-1. The San Jose State Spartans beat the Santa Clara Broncos at home 11-8. When the San Diego State Aztecs visited Cal Poly, they tasted defeat with a 6-3 final. CSU Bakersfield took care of business against the Fresno State Bulldogs 7-6, and Sacramento State beat the UNR Wolfpack 7-3. The Air Force Falcons went back to action on Wednesday at home against the Northern Colorado Bears. The Bears growled their way to a victory 8-5. Today, you can expect to see 4 different games on deck in the Mountain West. Sam Houston State at New Mexico, San Diego State at San Jose State, UNR at Fresno State, and Air Force at UNLV. For Varsity Sports Show, Angelo Scaturro reporting.
Hello everyone, this is Quinton Wilson here from UNLV bringing you all the latest news from the Varsity Sports Show. Now today we're diving into the sensational story of Corona's high school baseball team, currently reigning as the #1 ranked team in the nation. Now, based in Corona, California, the Corona Panthers are making history with an exceptional season, boasting an impressive 14-1 overall record and riding an astounding 11-game win streak. The recent triumphs in the Boris Classic, including victories against formidable opponents like La Costa Canyon and Aquinas, underscore their dominance on the diamond. Now, central to the Panthers' success is the remarkable talent of junior pitcher Seth Hernandez. Standing tall at 6'4" with a formidable right arm with high speeds at 95 miles per hour, Hernandez is not only committed to Vanderbilt, but also crowned as the top pitching prospect in the 2025 class, ranked 4th in the nation. With an astounding tally of 44 strikeouts in just 28 innings pitched, his prowess on the mound is unmatched. And let's not forget his contributions at the plate, leading the team with 5 home runs and 18 hits so far in the season. But Hernandez isn't the sole standout. Sophomore center fielder Anthony Murphy has been making waves of his own. With an impressive 24 hits, 20 runs scored, and 3 home runs, Murphy's stellar performance has been instrumental in the Panthers' success. As the regular season draws to a close, the Corona High School is gearing up for pivotal matchups against Centennial and Roosevelt. Can they maintain their momentum and finish the season on a high note? Stay tuned as we follow Corona High's journey. This is Quinton Wilson from UNLV signing off.
Sounds drive.
The West Coast Report.
Okay, there you have it, folks. That's a great way to kick off our show with the West Coast Report. We embed different segments, different regional reports throughout the country of things going on from our amazing team. And so report on a couple things happening in the West Coast from a couple of our UNLV All-Stars. When we come back from the break, we're going to bring it back to Phoenix, Arizona, where we're going to be joined by Thunderbird Titans baseball coach Mike Jacobs. Amazing win yesterday. We're going to really take this thing back and talk about his season, talk about players that are standouts, talk about a look ahead and what potentially the postseason could look like for these guys as well. It's going to be a nail-biter. Joined by Coach Mike Jacobs, Thunderbird High School Baseball. We'll be back after the break. Go Varsity.
social information about KDUS AM 1060, try KDUS1060.com, at KDUS AM 1060 on Twitter, and Facebook.com/KDUS AM 1060.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road, just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Your caddy, Ray Adams, takes you beyond the 18th hole on Saturday mornings with Great American Golf from 6 to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Tighten up with Thunderbird Titans baseball on Varsity Sports Show AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And now, here's Titans coach Mike Jacobs.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Vince DeLisio in studio with one of our amazing, talented young journalists. And you don't have to be young to do an internship with us. We got old guys like me, and we've had in the past. But anyway, one of our talented, it just so happens he's young. His name is Jason Goldie. Jason, you having fun so far?
Yeah.
Okay, we just started. We got to pace ourselves now today, though. So, all right, we're joined on the line by we've had the privilege. This is year number 2 for us. We've been privileged to cover a great community tucked away in Moon Valley. When I was a kid, Moon Valley was like the place, and it still is to a certain degree. There's it's a pretty cool campus, a beautiful venue for baseball, football. I mean, you got the backdrop of the mountains there nearby and the foothills, and Coach Mike Jacobs from the Thunderbird Titans baseball team is joining us on the line for the Titans segment. Coach Jacobs, quite a season so far. I really want to slow this down today. I know a lot of times we tend to pack a lot into a little bit of time, but today we're going to do a little better job of really getting to know you and your team. You guys are sitting in a pretty interesting spot because it's been a bit of a streaky season for you where you'll go on these runs of 5-6 wins, and then you'll take a step back, take a little breather, and then come back strong again. Am I off on that, or has that been pretty close?
No, that's, I think, a great kind of summary of the season so far. We've I think, struggled to play consistent baseball at times, and you're seeing that with some of those ups and downs in the record. But the goal is to continue to try to get better each and every day, and where we end up at the end of the season, we'll just try to take one game at a time as we move forward here, and just hopefully be playing our best baseball by the end of the year.
What I'd like to do is take a look back into the preseason, and if you can remember that far back, it's been a little while. I mean, we're obviously coming up on the tail end of the season now in the next week or two, but or 3. But looking back in the preseason, coming into the season, what was, our expectation always is to win. But when you looked at your roster and where you were, what were you looking at, especially with the difficult schedule that was ahead of you?
I think coming off of last year, we graduated 5 starting seniors, and you're always looking for the younger guys or the guys that are in the program to take on some of those roles of the guys that you lose. and I look at them in a sense of bullets, in a sense. So you got silver bullets, and you got your typical regular old bullets. And we, as a program, it's hard to replace the silver bullets, is my point here. And we really didn't lose any silver bullets, what I'll call, last year. So we were hoping that we could get some guys to fill in those roles. So during preseason, we were preparing and prepping those guys in those positions, and it's been difficult. I wouldn't say that there's been some underachieving, but I would say a learning curve for those guys that didn't have the varsity experience yet. And we're seeing some of that inconsistent play a little bit work out as a team, and probably reflecting in our record a little bit.
So we're into the season, okay? First couple games of the season. At that point, you get a good gauge as to how things are going to play out. Did you have kids maybe that started stepping up in place of others? And things happen over the course of the season. Obviously, there's injuries. There's you're always kind of dealing with grades and trying to make sure everybody's doing well in school, and some maybe may not, and others you were counting on maybe they moved away or whatever. I mean, did you have any surprises, like pleasant surprises that started popping up for you?
I think overall, we've had a couple of guys that I expected to come in and take on some roles, but on the pitching mound, I think we've had some pleasant surprises. Adam Gauthier has had some really great starts. Austin Coates has kept us in many games with quality starts. Chase Benson, obviously, but one of the big shining, stars out of the bullpen has been Patrick Ramon. He's just done a phenomenal job coming in relief of our starting pitchers and just doing exactly what he's expected to do on the mound. So that's been a really great positive there on the mound. In the field and offensively, I've been very pleased with Alex Mesa in his DH role. He's done a great job. Obviously, again, you got Noah Anderson and Chase Benson at the top of the lineup. Who've done their jobs as seniors. But Alex has done a good job. Matt Hornberg has really stepped up at shortstop for us. I have a sophomore, J.P. Stewart, who started the last few games, who's really been a good shining star there, I would say, for our underclassmen. So definitely have a couple guys that have stepped up in those roles of those seniors that graduated. And that's what's nice, is that we have opportunities for guys when they get them to see if it's something that they can continue to capitalize on when they get their opportunities.
Are there any games you wish you could have back where you say, gosh, if we would have just done this little thing, and you don't have to get specific, Coach, but anything maybe that you wished you would have done differently in a game without naming one of the opponents?
No, gosh, that's a great question. Since I think I always jokingly say that in hindsight, when I'm able to coach in hindsight, I've undefeated and I got
yeah, you're the best armchair quarterback in the world, probably. And looking back too.
So looking back, there's been obviously some close games. There's been some games where offensively we weren't as productive as we would have liked to have been. And I think as you progress towards the end of the season, there's always one or two games early on. I like our St. Mary's game back early on. We didn't really perform that well offensively, but there's always going to be those one or two you look back and say, oh man, if we could have just did that in this game or did that. The goal there, I think, is to move forward from what we need to improve upon. That's always kind of our goal, is to say, hey, why are those things happening? Was it a once-off, or is it a theme? And is it something that we need to correct quickly? So those are things that I think early on in the year we looked at from an offensive standpoint. Last night against Moon Valley, I believe, was our first double-digit scoring run scored game of the season.
Yeah.
So offensively, it's just been something where we're trying to produce runs through situational baseball and executing the things that we need to do offensively.
So I'm going to transition to my broadcast partner here. I'll pivot to him, Jason. Jason had a question. You had mentioned last night's game. You were up 9-0 in the first inning. My gosh, I'm like, holy cow, is that correct? Did our technical director make a mistake on the scoreboard? And that thing was over fairly. I know you got him coming up, but Jason had a question for you. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, Coach, great win over Moon Valley yesterday. What a blowout. You must be really proud of the team.
Yes, we did a great job. The boys came out and played to their ability level, I think was sometimes when you step on the field, no matter who your opponent is, and I'm a Moon Valley alumni, so it's always one of those things where I enjoy beating them as an alumni and the coach at Thunderbird, but sometimes it's hard to see them struggle a little bit, but we've been in that same boat. But we jumped on them early, and that was something that from that early standpoint, we had a player go down, unfortunately, in the first inning, Caden Latopoulos. He tore his ACL in left field, so I feel like our energy was very, very good and very positive after that. Just in the idea that, hey, anything at any moment can happen out here on the field. Let's enjoy where we're at, where our feet are at, and continue to have fun. And we definitely did that yesterday.
On Tuesday, you play the Rockets again, but this time on the road. Do you have any different strategies to sweep the series?
I think we're going to continue to try to go up and have our quality at-bats. It's been a big focus for us there. And, that's the thing. We're just one day to the next. You don't want to think, hey, the last game was this, so we look forward to a solid practice on Monday to progress in that game. We'll probably, again, go with either Adam Gauthier or Austin Coates on Tuesday, so they'll give us a good start. And I think if we can throw strikes, play our quality defense, we're going to have opportunities offensively to score runs.
Two very good questions, Jason, and hopefully the Moon Valley guys aren't listening this morning. But we don't want to give away too much of the recipe for success. But on that note, Coach, you guys are sitting at 9-10 right now, and the one thing I talk about this a lot because we cover quite a few 4A, 5A teams. Everybody says, "Oh, 6A is the end all be all." I'll tell you what, 4A to me is the most difficult because there is one X factor that I've mentioned in the past that we talk about, and that's the travel, because you're playing a little smaller schools that you have to go on the road. And I'm not talking about, driving to, not just driving to Moon Valley or driving down the street to another local high school. I'm talking Prescott, Flagstaff, and that also plays a factor. Do you feel like that can, have you guys prepare? Your team has to be a little different type of focus and prepare when it comes to travel?
Yeah, I think the travel is definitely something that, like it's been in the past for us, we're somewhat fortunate to not have to do as much as some of the other programs. However, we do have a Yuma trip coming up, which is definitely something that takes a lot of preparation to kind of mentally understand the purpose of the trip. Not to have a good lunch and a fun dinner. There's business to be handled, and then from there, you can enjoy the trip in and of itself. But I tell you, you take a 7-hour bus ride there and back. The food doesn't taste as good if you're getting lost down that way. So yeah. It's definitely important to make sure that you're prepared, well rested, and with these young adults, just really focusing on what are they putting in their body, what are you guys doing for your sleep, how are you taking care of yourself so that when we do have to travel or have a short turnaround, your body's able to be ready and to be able to recover quickly.
I made that trip many a time, and I get excited when I see Gila Bend because there's not much in between. And you're at least halfway there when you get to that point. But anyway, so yeah. Oh man, Coach Mike Jacobs, Thunderbird Titans baseball coach. Good luck. Congrats so far on the season. Anytime that you can end up where you are at this point in the season and control your own destiny, obviously you got to win out to even have a shot at the postseason. But that's more than 80% of the teams out there. So you guys, played extremely well yesterday. We'll look forward to covering you the rest of the way, and we appreciate you joining us every week.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great Saturday morning, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Coach Mike Jacobs, great guy, Thunderbird Titans. So when we come back from the break, guys, more Varsity Sports Show. Don't go anywhere. Miss a minute, miss a lot. Go Varsity.
Have you downloaded the KDUS AM 1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Food. Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is male, chicken.
Once you're ready, say Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hello everyone, my name is Kendall Flynn and I am a junior studying sports journalism with a minor in Spanish at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I have been in and around sports my whole life and I'm thrilled to show my passion for sports with the Varsity Media Foundation as a social media manager and technical director this spring.
We'll do what's best for the team and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
It's time for Sun Devil Lacrosse Talk with ASU lacrosse coach Taryn Van Thof on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
All right, guys, time for the ASU Sun Devil Women's Lacrosse segment with Coach Taryn Van Thof. Coach, back in the win column, you guys are sitting at 500. You've got a big one today, big home matchup against Cal. There's quite a bit to unpack here. What I wanted to start with was the win. You guys were up 11-0 after the first period, and sounds like there was quite the action on the defensive side for your goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think looking back at that game, a full team win. Whether it was on the draw circle, I think Zoe hit her career high, 14 draw controls.
Wow.
On the defensive end, Katie Valley secured her 21st win, which put her all time at keeper wins for our keepers. And then, Shannon hits, 200 and 200 career points. And that's that's unbelievable. And it was exciting to see across the board, as well as get, some of our lower minute players in and on the board. It was fun to watch them play together as a unit.
Well, let's talk about the get in Shannon Urie. She was a graduate transfer from Mercer University, and she was essentially, everybody, as you said, shared the wealth this week in the win. But what was so significant about this career milestone for Shannon, she hits her 200th career point. What has she meant to your program?
She brings in a championship culture and experience and value, winning the Big South at Mercer and then coming here, and, her work ethic is unmatched. And I think, the people around her recognize that, yes, she's a great player, but she works hard to be great. And, that's humbling when you're getting to play with her every day.
Well, it'd be one thing if the season was over today after the big win, but you've got a tough one today, this afternoon at noon at home against Cal. Tell us a little bit about the Bears.
Yeah, Cal's a strong opponent. They just went neck and neck with USC last weekend. And, for us, we've got to play a solid 60 minutes. And that's across the board and compete for 50-50 balls. But an aggressive man-to-man defense. And, our Dodgers have to be ready and willing to get to cage.
Do you feel, seeing what you saw on film this week, obviously going toe-to-toe with USC in L.A., and now coming out to your place to face your team coming off a big win, what are some things you feel like you're going to capitalize on that can really give you an advantage in this game against Cal?
Draw controls are everything. Possessional value is going to be super important for us. A team that's willing to let the ball go when they have shooting opportunities. So our biggest thing is, making sure we're giving pressured shots. And so, those are our two things on the offense and defensive side is you've got to have the ball to value it in order to put it in the back of the net. But also what we give up, we want to make sure we're giving up what we want to give up.
straight from the mouth of ASU Sun Devil women's lacrosse coach Taryn Van Thof. Coach, good luck today. Big home match against Cal Berkeley, noon time, so after our show ends, should be a great one. Good luck, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you. Forks up.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Jason Goldie in studio today, and this train is rolling. Quite a report. So we've enjoyed this partnership with ASU Sun Devil Women's Lacrosse. It was cool because a few years ago, it was a brand new program. And I had just started doing some public address announcing for ASU, and they said, they went through their whole list of all their experienced PA announcers over there, all the studs that they have and, calling games for. And they got to my name because nobody else wanted to call lacrosse. They thought, man, it's just, it won't be around that long. That has been the best sport and the hidden gem because it's like literally it's hockey on grass. I mean, these women run into each other, they break sticks, and it's high scoring, a lot of action. And Coach Van Thof has been amazing to work with. She's she was an assistant at the University of Florida. This is her second year, and she's really building this program back up. She's got quite the team, and they've put together a pretty good run. I think they're sitting at 500 right now. So it's been fun. Jason, do you like lacrosse? You ever watch a lacrosse match?
Yeah, I've watched lacrosse a few times.
Yeah, pretty fast, huh? A lot of action. Yeah. It's like hockey, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but it's cool because again, it's high scoring. You do a lot of yelling. The officials run around. It's kind of cool watching the officials out there, especially some of the ones that can't move around as well. That better them than me. But it's a lot of fun to watch and to call for that matter. We have a lot of fun. So anyway, moving right along, and we bring you. ASU has been real good about allowing us to cover the lacrosse program and bring Coach Van Thof on with us every week. Claudia, who's the director of communications for the lacrosse program. Thank you so much for working with us and allowing us access. One thing we haven't done, Jason, myself, Jason Goldie in studio here, we haven't covered a lot of NAU this semester. In fact, I can't remember any Northern Arizona University coverage except for today. Alissa Firestone is bringing you the NAU report, so she's going to talk a little NAU sports. Nash, Darragh, one of our journalists, also is going to be doing an ASU report. Jonathan Melendez is doing a report on Hamilton Huskies baseball, little Arizona high school baseball, and we're going to kick it off with Alissa Firestone talking a little NAU. Take it away.
Good morning. This is Alissa Firestone from Arizona State University with the Varsity Sports Show, coming to you with the report within the world of track and field at Northern Arizona University. NAU Athletics announced that the team traveled to Las Vegas yesterday to compete at the UNLV Rebels Elite Meet. The Lumberjacks saw success last weekend at the Stanford Invitational as Alejandra Upshaw set a 10,000-meter school record. Athletes Kyle Smith and Hamis Hassan will be headlining the meet for the men's sprinters, with Madeline Wilson for the women's sprint groups. The meet consists of 2 days, with today marking the last one. Results should be finalized later this evening when it concludes. For more Northern Arizona University sports coverage and other sports content, tune in to the Varsity Sports Show. For Varsity Sports, I have been Alissa Firestone reporting.
Good morning, everyone. This is Nash Darragh with the Varsity Sports Show reporting to you from Arizona State University. This past week was a big one for ASU athletics as for the first time in school history, the men's swim and dive team brought home its first ever national championship to the program. The Sun Devils scored a total of 523.5 points, beating out the next closest team, Cal, by 79 points even. But that was not the only thing special for the Sun Devils, as bear with me, they broke 3 NCAA records. They won 7 events as a whole, 9 school records were broken, as well as 14 members going All-American. One other thing that is rightfully to be added is junior swimmer Leon Marchand won his 8th career individual title. This leads all of ASU for individual titles to be won. Marchand was the superstar performer for this amazing Sun Devil squad, and if that record did not prove to you that Marchand is a legit great, look out for him in the upcoming Paris Summer Olympics coming up in July. It is also worth mentioning that Marchand won the 2024 Swimmer of the Year award for the men. This proved to be an eventful week for the Sun Devil swim and dive team as the celebration has just begun after their first title won in Indianapolis during the end of March. And with the season of swim and dive being over, a lot more focus heads towards the ASU baseball team. The 14-14 team is currently on a 4-game hot streak after winning one against UNLV and then sweeping the 3-game series at home against Cal. The team still has 28 games left before the Pac-12 tournament to make their mark. They have started to get hot at the right time and hopefully can continue their success for weeks to come. The Sun Devils are currently at Oregon State against the Beavers. Look out for their game tonight on the Pac-12 Insider, or stay here with us at KDUS AM 1060. I'm Nash Darragh, and this is the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan Melendez from Arizona State University, and for this week's topic, we're going to be talking about the Hamilton Huskies and how they have continued to dominate Arizona for the 3rd year in a row. The Hamilton Huskies baseball team have continued to dominate Arizona high school baseball with no signs of slowing down as they retain their number 1 spot in Arizona rankings. In the last 2 years, the Huskies have won back-to-back 6A championships with their sights set on a 3rd title. Being led by head coach Mike Woods, who was recently named a new inductee in the National High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame for 2024, the Huskies have continued to dominate the 6A division, winning 74% of their games since Woods became head coach in 1998. Even though this is the 3rd year the Huskies dominate the rankings, the Huskies have maintained the number 1 spot 5 of the last 6 seasons, only missing out on the number 1 spot in the 2021 season where they ranked 2nd overall. The Huskies have built a strong program in AZ, having won 9 championships under Mike Woods. The team has even ranked nationally as one of the top baseball teams in the country. Last year, Hamilton was ranked number 8 nationally, and as of this year, the Huskies are number 21. Being the only high school from AZ ranked within the top 25 for baseball, the Huskies have put AZ on the map among states like California, Florida, and Alabama, who all have multiple schools among the top 25. Boston Kellner, infielder and right-handed pitcher for the Huskies, currently leads the team with a 0.765 batting average, 0.815 on-base percentage, and 5 home runs so far this season. His batting average is also number 1 among all high school players in the state of Arizona. The Huskies currently lead the 6A division with a 13-2 record and have dominated their opponents, scoring an average of 11 runs a game. This has been Jonathan Melendez from Arizona State University. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Jason Goldie in studio today. A lot of good stuff coming up. And thanks, by the way, for the great reporting from our very own Alissa Firestone, reporting on Northern Arizona. We need to do more in Northern Arizona. It's so beautiful up there, too. And the school is kind of cool. Jason, you ever been up to NAU?
I haven't been to the campus, but I have been to Flagstaff.
You've been to Flagstaff. You've been to the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
It's a big hole in the ground, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You stand there and it's kind of like you look over and it's like, okay, let's go grab a sandwich. Let's go home. Was it like that for you, or what was the experience? What did you think of it? You said it's beautiful. What did you like about the Grand Canyon?
It's just
it's
so
massive,
beautiful.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah, it's massive. But you haven't been to NAU though, so you haven't been to the campus of Northern Arizona University.
I have been to the Snow Bowl.
You have? Do you ski?
I
do
love
ski because you've done ski reports for us.
Yeah.
What am I saying? My gosh, you're like the ski report aficionado. So I tried the bunny hill once, and I actually ran into somebody, and they kicked me off the bunny hill back then. But are you like a black diamond skier, or what hills do you take?
It doesn't matter how steep it is, just as long as there's no moguls.
Yeah, I have no idea what a mogul is. Oh, like hills, hilly, rolly hill type things? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I'd be so scared to death. I don't know. I'm just kind of a weakling that way. But that's cool. Yeah, so NAU, so we have to do more in Northern Arizona because we do have a listenership up there too, and some folks that listen that really enjoy. And my daughter will be going to school up there in the fall, so it'll give me a chance to spy on her if we're doing some reporting from NAU. So anyway, all right, and that's a side note. When we come back from the break, we are going to talk more. We're going to talk a little Autism Acceptance Month with our very own Jason Goldie here in studio. Guys, don't go anywhere. The Varsity Sports Show train is running, like Herm Edwards used to say. We'll be back after the break. Go Varsity.
James Out West brings NFL, NBA, MLB, and local sports talk to you Monday night starting at 7 on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Hi, hey, this is Coach Bob Green. When I am not busier than a mosquito in a news colony, I'm listening to Vince at the Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Carving out time in your afternoon for the Doug Gottlieb Show right here on KDUS AM 1060, 100.7 HD2, and KDUS1060.com. Weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Jason, we have something in common. We have a couple things in common. Number one, you've got some Italian in your background. You don't look it, but you got it. I think it's the mustache that kind of makes you look. Yeah, you have that look a little bit, but you're too tall to be Italian for one thing, so that's why you're not 100% Italian. But the good parts are. Secondly, you're an aficionado. One thing that's won me over this semester, last semester, is when you put together your audio packages, you always include some cool 80s music. And you know a way into my heart for some reason. You're getting straight A's just based on the music alone. How are you drawn to that music? Is it your mom?
Yeah.
yeah, because she's older, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
she searches online.
Yeah, but you like the music, like you've put Bruce Springsteen in there and like stuff that you wouldn't have necessarily known about unless someone else influenced you. And fortunately, your mom has a good taste in music. But so you've thrown some other stuff. Do you have favorite bands? What's your go-to when you're listening and you're working out? Like, do you have a song that's like your go-to?
Oh, not really.
No.
I don't really work out when I listen to music.
Well, not even necessarily working out, but just working, like doing stuff. Because I know you like to multitask. But do you have a favorite, like Van Halen or Van Halen or Van Halen? That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't really have a favorite.
Okay, all right, that's all right. Okay, but you've been able to pick some pretty good music though. I think one week you might have even picked Huey Lewis, which was pretty good.
I don't remember picking Huey Lewis.
Okay, maybe that was just my imagination then. Okay. Let's talk a little autism acceptance. It used to be called Autism Awareness. Now it's called Autism Acceptance Month, the month of May. What is autism acceptance?
So Autism Acceptance Month is all about raising awareness about autism and learning how to promote inclusion and connectedness for people with autism. So the year I was diagnosed, 2005, the stats were 1 in 168 children had autism. Now it's more like 1 in 33. With so many people like me on the spectrum, it's important for everyone to find ways to help people like me be included and successful, like with my internship here with the Varsity Sports Show. And when I graduate from ASU, I want to advocate for jobs for people on the spectrum.
So I'm gonna ask, because Mom is sitting right next to you here. Jason, you were diagnosed. You were 2 years old, correct?
Correct.
Okay, 2 years old. Mom, were there any clues that of things that maybe like outside of the regular wellness checkups, going to the doctor, whatnot? Any type of things that maybe told you that things were a little different?
Well, Jason was actually a very well-behaved little kid.
Yeah.
And so he would sit by himself and play. And I just thought that he was autonomous and independent. But his doctor noticed that he wasn't pointing and like little kids at that age, at 2 years old, should be pointing. Also, Jason was reading by the age of 22 months.
Wow.
So he was really early with reading and spelling. And so I just thought, oh, he's super bright. But he was my first kid, so I had no idea like what to compare it to.
Yeah.
So his doctor just said, hey, I think we want to take him for some testing, and they came back with the diagnosis.
Man, okay. Now, let's talk about special talents, because I don't feel like there is such a word as a disability. There are abilities, extra abilities. What are yours? What are your special talents?
So I've always had a good memory for things I find interesting. So when it comes to sports broadcasting, I like all the information and statistics about players and teams. So I make these detailed broadcast boards with all that information, and then by game time, I have most of the stats in my head, and I use them for my play-by-play.
Yeah.
So I'd say some of my best talents are my love of detail and my strong memory. I also read really well under pressure, which is helpful when reading stuff over the air and reading the teleprompter.
What do I say about your memory?
That I have a memory like an elephant.
Yeah, I love that. You do, though. This year we were faced with a brand new sport. What was that sport that we covered in the fall?
Flag football.
Flag football, and a different set of rules. So what did I do with my rule book? I gave it to you, and I said, here, Jason, you have 30 minutes to memorize this. And you called our first flag football game after memorizing that book, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ended up being pretty good at it, too. So that was cool. That was interesting. We should all be so lucky. So anyway, you did a good job with it. And not to take anything lightly, but you truly do have some special talents, and you've really enhanced our team, and you came back for a second semester, which I think it takes a real special person to come back and get a second semester of Vince. So, because most have enough just even getting through one semester, but you've enjoyed it. So you're having a good time, right?
I am having a good time.
Okay, good. Thank you. I need that reassurance. Guys, thanks again for tuning in. Jason, what do we have coming up next?
Okay, coming up next is the Midwest Report. We got Davis Noble talking about college hockey and the Frozen Four. And then Sammy Khalaf talking about the Chicago Cubs.
Nice, on our Midwest Report. So, guys, stick around for that. Davis, of course, out of Grand Canyon University, and then Sammy, one of our ASU Cronkite journalists. So let's take it away, Aaron.
The Midwest Report.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Davis Noble from Grand Canyon University, here during the best time of the year for college sports. While March Madness continues on, folks in the Midwest are counting down the days until the Frozen Four, the semifinals for the NCAA men's hockey tournament. Both games and the championship will be held in St. Paul, Minnesota, which has many local hockey fans excited for what's to come. I'm here with Jerry Picard, a goalie coach for the Upper Midwest Elite Goalie Academy, who's born and raised in Minnesota and played lots of hockey, to tell us more about the impact of the tournament in their state. How does this impact you and your community with this big tournament being in your state?
So it's been a big impact because University of Minnesota Duluth won it the last time it was in St. Paul, so 3 years ago, I believe it was. The two out of the 4 times they've won the national tournament, it's been in St. Paul, so it's been in the homegrown state. It's big as well because a lot of Minnesota Gopher fans live up here, and they're the host school for the national tournament. But with none of those schools being involved next week, then it's more local people. Got some friends who have a son who is playing for Denver University, and so there's some local connections and whatnot as well. But it's big. Everybody follows it. Everybody talks about it, and kind of like the Super Bowl of college hockey, if you will.
On Thursday, April 11th, Denver and Boston U compete at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with Michigan and Boston College competing shortly after at 7:30. Next Saturday from today, you can watch the winners of those 2 matches compete at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the championship. This is Davis Noble from GCU, and enjoy the Frozen Four.
Hello,
everyone, this is Sammy Khalaf from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. This week's story will dissect one of the most underrated teams in the MLB, the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs had a pretty quiet offseason despite the fans eagerly anticipating big money moves. The Cubs, however, were able to snag Japanese rookie Shota Imanaga and re-sign Cody Bellinger. The Cubs obtained high numbers during spring training, finishing with 16 wins and 15 losses. The Cubs began their season against the defending World Series champions, the Texas Rangers, on March 28th. Unfortunately, Justin Steele's early exit cost the Cubs the game as Jonah Heim walked it off for Texas in extra innings. Cubs manager Craig Counsell, who joined the team from division rivals Milwaukee Brewers back in November, said that Steele suffered a grade 1 left hamstring strain and is expected to miss the entire month of April. This injury is a massive blow for the Cubs because Steele had a pretty impressive 2023 season with 16 wins and 5 losses. He also had a 3.6 ERA. Despite Steele's injury, the Cubs would lose to the Rangers again 2 days later, 11-2. However, the Cubs finally beat the Rangers 9-5 on March 31st to avoid the sweep. The Cubs will head back to Chicago to face the Colorado Rockies in a 3-game series. It will be interesting to see Kris Bryant back at Wrigley. How will the fans react to him? If you didn't know, the Cubs traded Kris Bryant to the San Francisco Giants back in 2021. Immediately after the season, Kris Bryant signed with the Colorado Rockies for a big money deal. Once again, how will the fans react to his return to Wrigley? We will find out soon. Once again, this is Sammy Khalaf with the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show.
The Midwest Report.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. That was the Midwest Report with our very own Davis Noble and Sammy Khalaf. Joined in studio, Vince here with Jason. And we're almost not quite halfway through the show. But when we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by Saguaro SaberCat baseball coach Joe Muecke. Here on the Varsity Sports Show, he's having quite a season. He's won a couple of games and state finalist last year. Coach will break it down for us. Jason's got some real good questions dialed up as well. We ask the tough questions here at the Varsity Sport. This isn't a cupcake show, right, Jason?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. We ask the tough questions. We're like the Geraldo Rivera of local sports radio. So for those of you guys that are my age. Anyway, we'll be back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show for hour number 2. Don't go anywhere. Go Varsity. Hey listeners, Vince DeLisio here from the Varsity Sports Show. We are so excited and honored that you start your weekends off with us. Our team is comprised of very talented high school and college students working toward a future in media. We appreciate your support, and any opportunities that we can to promote your teams or businesses will go a long way toward helping us continue supporting our talented team. We are a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and we use our platform to not only promote all of the great things happening in the world of sports locally and nationally, but also continue to promote and encourage future broadcasters as they grow in this industry. Please consider a tax-deductible donation to the Varsity Media Foundation. To find out more, please email us at info@varsitysportshow.com or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Varsity Sports Show, or on Twitter at Varsity Show. Once again, thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now a nationally syndicated program on the Sports Map Radio Network. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I'm Alexandra Medina with the Varsity Sports Show, and I am proud to tell the stories of players, coaches, and even fans. Make sure to tune into the Varsity Sports Show to hear me cover Arizona's local sports.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alessio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS 1060 app.
Hey, this is Sophie, and you're listening to my dad, Vince. Dad, you owe me $20 now.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the SaberCat Report with Saguaro High School baseball coach Joe Muecke. And now, here's the SaberCat Report.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, hour number 2 here on KDUS AM 1060 Arizona. Vince D'Alessio, joined by my in-studio broadcaster extraordinaire. His name is Jason Goldie. Jason, we're halfway through the show. Fun show?
Yeah, very fun show.
Yeah. Did you wake up early this morning?
Kinda.
Yeah. Well, we're on an hour later now, so we don't have to wake up as early. So that's nice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're joined on the line by Saguaro SaberCat baseball coach Joe Muecke. Coach Muecke, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Vince. How are you this morning? Glad to be a part of the show. Thank you for having me.
Coach, we are grateful and privileged and honored to have you joining us. Coach, we got a little more time today, and what I wanted to do was take a step back and look at, I want to ask you a couple questions. First of all, last year, you guys were the 4A state finalists in baseball. And coming off that game and looking ahead, what were your thoughts going into the offseason? I really want to take it way back.
No, absolutely. It's ambitious, right? Excited for an opportunity to get these guys back enrolling, knowing what we had coming back this year and the leadership we had, and those guys kind of having that taste of that big moment and coming up a little short. You just knew they would be hungry, and we were excited. Excitement would be the best word I could put to getting this season started, and then you kind of all of a sudden blink, and here we are in April and in a really good position. But going into the season, the off season, we were just waiting. You know, it's that hurry up and wait and get ready and prepare for the opportunity. And these boys have been ready.
After last season's finale and finishing off the season as the state finalist, did you do anything any different in the off season? Working with your guys, them getting together? Did they have a lot of informal workouts on their own? What was it? What did the off season look like for the Saguaro SaberCat baseball team?
You know, it was actually kind of developing some of our younger guys. I know our older guys have pretty good routines. They kind of knew the system. It's a tight-knit group of guys that have played together for 4+ years coming in. And so, we have so much club baseball in the Valley that it's trying not to pull on them too much, to be honest with you. I know they're all preparing on their own journeys and
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if we lost Coach here. Bad connection. Coach, if we lost you, please give us a call back. But anyway, so interesting. So he was talking a little bit. That was Joe Muecke, Coach Muecke out at Saguaro. Coach, sorry, we lost you there. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
okay.
sorry about that.
No, we're good. Yeah, so you got to talking about how there's so much club baseball in the Valley and the guys work out in the offseason. You try not to pull on them too much, but at the same time, they still had to do some work.
Absolutely. And so we were scheduling our workouts to make sure we were doing team-oriented things. And again, it's just an opportunity for our younger guys to see how these leaders prepare. Because we have 4 or 5 D1 guys that are going to play some next-level baseball, and you want your younger guys to be exposed to how these guys have been so successful in our program and what's made us so successful. So it was really trying to bring along a really talented group of freshmen with these senior leaders. And so we'd schedule a couple days a week where we were doing full program workouts, more so than just individually focusing on any one thing, because we're bigger than one person. We are a team. It's a program. And so our leaders have just led. And again, they do so much preparation for their journeys, whether it's guys pitching in showcases or playing some elite tournaments, that I don't want to wear them down in the off season. I want them feeling good and hopefully we're peaking at the right time, which is around this time of year and getting ready to take off for what we've set our sights on.
Coach, I talk to coaches in your region frequently, other programs, and they look to you as kind of the benchmark of what a program is all about. In that, you guys, you've got the players, you got the coaches, you got the team, you got the support, and not to say that they don't have certain things, but they look at man, we got to get to where Saguaro baseball is. What would you say about the teams on your schedule, your opponents?
I have the same mutual respect. It's unbelievably competitive across the Valley, and I know everybody's preparing at a high level, and so it's humbling to be having that type of status. But I also think that's part of what makes us successful is we try to keep that mindset of 1% better because we know every program is pushing their ceiling and trying to elevate. We try to keep that same hungry mentality. And so when I look at our schedule, I know it's competitive. We just hard-fought game yesterday against Mesquite where, we've come out and put up 5 and they bounced back with 5 right behind it. So you just know that you're going to be in some really good baseball games, and you kind of never assume. And so I look at our schedule and I know it's going to be a difficult one, and I like that challenge for us, and I like that we are able to have the success of that schedule as well because it shows where our preparation has kind of started to take course and showcase.
Jason has a question specific to the Mesquite game. Go ahead, Jason.
So, hey, Coach, nice job last night beating Mesquite 12-5.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. Those guys were always our tough region opponent. Thank you very much.
Go ahead,
Tuesday,
Jason. Yeah.
On Tuesday, you play Mesquite again, this time at home. How do you plan to approach the game?
Well, we know we're going to get another good shot from them. It's tough to beat anybody twice, especially when you're talking back-to-back. We're going to approach it with a similar mindset of clean, smart baseball. We have a word that we've kind of coined a little bit down the stretch here, which is just clean energy, trying to really harness on just playing smart baseball, but being aggressive. And so when you kind of keep that mindset of we're going to be aggressive and stay out of our own way a little bit. But the confidence has grown so much in these guys that you don't want to feel like, hey, we're going to show up and it's just going to happen. We know teams are going to come out and they're going to be really, really strong. And so we have to, we have a good arm going, obviously one of the best in the country. That's given us a lot of.
We lose Coach again. He must be in a dead spot, but hopefully we can bring him back on. That's Saguaro SaberCat baseball coach Joe Muecke just talking a little bit about their last game against Mesquite. I wanted to talk specifically. He's had some role players on the team. Some usual suspects of guys that we tend to call and spotlight as our players of the game. You got Cade Schumar. You've got I mean, who can forget Cam Caminiti? It's literally a who's who on that roster of players, and when you've got the coaching and the support and the families and the community, it makes for a great combination. Jason, looking at their schedule, we'll have you look at their schedule. You said that coming up, who do they play? They face on Tuesday?
Mesquite.
Okay, they've got Mesquite, and then how does the rest of the week shake out for the Saguaro SaberCat baseball team?
Well, on the 10th, that's Wednesday.
Okay.
The day after the game against Mesquite, we got Chrisman.
Oh, Chrisman, okay. And then we've got Coach Mickey, you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I'm sorry we keep losing you guys. I apologize.
No, that's all right. That's all right. You need a bigger stipend from your athletic director on your cell phone bills. Apparently, it's not. Yeah,
I'm going to pass that on.
Coach, speaking of which, you guys are drawing a lot of people to your games. I mean, rumor has it now. The speculation, people say it's because you've got some top-notch kids on your team that are drawing a lot of interest, but I think people are there because they want to see your AD. Am I off base on that they want to see Matt Harris, that they're there for him?
I'd love to give him that credit. I'm gonna still pass the baton to the frontline staff. We have some unbelievable arms in our rotation.
Yeah.
And Caminiti, we're drawing 50 to 100 scouts a game.
Wow.
It's been awesome for our program to be around such exposure. He's a different kid. He's one of one that has just truly performed at a level that's been so fun to watch. And it's made our whole staff better. Cade Schumard, who's going to New Mexico State, and Billy Gregory, who's a GCU commit.
Yeah.
These guys have been playing great. And our defense behind them, I mean, some plays yesterday in that game by Santiago Hernandez and Chris Margarella. It's just fun. You're watching truly a team take off in the moment with the lights being the brightest, and that's been fun. So,
well, it feels like it's a team of selfless individuals because we've gone through, like I said, our usual list of honorees post game for players of the game, but then I'm also seeing some other guys that are really stepping up and filling some key roles that are getting recognized, and that's kind of nice to see when you have a team of of some all-stars. You've got some role players that are stepping up and playing big too.
No, you're 100% correct, and I love that you said that because any great team is built on everybody just buying into one stat, and that's the win. And, whether it's Cam Schmidt having some big at-bats in an Arcadia game, a couple of transfer kids that are now eligible, and Aline Gomez and Kason Williams, and just looking for their opportunity and their number to be called. But we talk about it. Cheer hard because you want guys cheering for you when your number's called. And that's the whole boat mantra that I've loved that we've established because everybody is just rowing for one cause, and it's a lot of trust, a lot of confidence. Our bench has been absolutely electric, and it's just fun. It's a fun environment to show up every day knowing that you have guys who are competing for the same goal, not for self, but for team. And that's a unique thing you fight for as a coach.
That's kind of cool. So, Saguaro SaberCat baseball coach Joe Mickey joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Stay tuned, guys. They are not done. There is more coming this season, and enjoy it while you can because there are some future stars on this team and some major leaguers in the not-too-distant future and a pretty good coaching staff, too. So, Coach Mickey, thanks again for joining us, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
I really appreciate the time, Vince. We'll see you this week. Thanks for all you do.
All right. Wow. He's a good guy, isn't he, Jason? You've called some Saguaro games, haven't you?
Yeah, I've called one.
Yeah, one, and you've worked a few, and so, but we're not done. We got more coming with the Saguaro SaberCats, and athletic director Matt Harris knows that I'm messing around with him. The guy's kind of hard to miss. He's like 6'11 and a half. So anyway, but he's a good guy. When we come back from the break, we've got more stuff coming here on the Varsity Sports Show. We're going to be joined by, we're going to take it to the other side of the valley, which I know you've been out there, the Buckeye Hawks, Buckeye Union High School. We have had that partnership, and it's been a couple of years strong now, courtesy primarily of athletic director Louis Contreras and Principal Joe Kinney. They are an amazing, amazing family out at Buckeye, and we're joined by baseball coach Kevin Battaglia here on the Varsity Sports Show. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Coach B. Go Varsity.
Listener rewards for you with the KDUS 1060 app. Download today to hear all of the national and local shows you love. That's the KDUS 1060 app.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase.
Hey sports fans, it's Coach Vito Maines inviting you to Bambino Sports Grill at 39th Avenue and Happy Valley Road for an afternoon of live music where I'll be singing on the patio with a great quartet. Enjoy great food, drinks, and fun. It will be a 3 p.m. kickoff on Sunday, April 21st. And as always, it'll be a gas.
Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com.
Hi, my name is Michael Beal from Costa Mesa, California, and I'm the only person other than Vince that got the honor of wearing his high school Letterman jacket. And you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Have you downloaded the KDUS 1060 app yet? Download today and get all of your favorite local and national shows right on your phone.
All right, guys, welcome back, and we are joined. We've been fortunate enough to have an amazing partnership with the Buckeye Union High School athletic department in covering different sports, and starting with football in the fall and then transitioning, covering some basketball, both boys and girls, into baseball, softball, and different sports, volleyball, beach volleyball. And joining us on the line is head baseball coach Kevin Battaglia. Coach Battaglia, thanks for tuning in and joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. And what I wanted to do, first of all, aside from welcoming you to the program, was talk to you a little bit about a couple things. First of all, the season, some of the players in particular, and then maybe a look ahead. So we'll start with a big welcome. Thanks for joining us here this morning.
Well, thank you for having me, Vince. It's always a pleasure to be on the show.
Been a bit of a challenge of a season, but you guys play in a tough league.
Yeah, it's we've definitely set our non-conference opponents as a challenge for us to try to build our program up, and next year it gets even tougher with the new region and staying in 5A, and that's a testament to Arizona high school baseball in general. Any team that we play is going to be competitive, and we have kids that play all year round. So it's just a different level of a challenge when it comes to high school baseball out here, and it's one that we as a program, we tell our boys when they come in, I don't care if you're a freshman, I don't care if you're a senior, you're always going to be challenged, and it's good for the game here. It's good for growth. And it's amazing to see how many of our players go on to the next level, either at the collegiate level or in the MLB, and be successful out there. So, our team right now, we're relatively young. We have 4 seniors on our squad, 2 juniors at the JV level, and the rest of our program is freshmen and sophomores. So our record right now is not a great record. We're below 500, but you would never have guessed it coming to a game. Because the boys are upbeat, they're confident still, they're competing, and we're still learning to be that scrappy ball team that can hang with teams for 7 innings. But it's easy to just give up on a season, and these boys have not done that. They're actually there's a lot of talk for building for next year and building for the future, and even a lot of them have told me, Coach, I know my job's on the line for next year. Let me prove to you that I can handle varsity baseball and that I can, hang with the best of them. And so again, it's been a great learning experience, and I couldn't be prouder for the way that these boys have responded.
Joined on the line by Buckeye Hawks baseball coach Kevin Battaglia. Coach, what I wanted to also mention was the support that you're getting not only from your administration, but also the community in general, in that you are one of the few ballparks in high school baseball in Arizona that has lights, and you play a lot of night games, which really helps to enhance the experience, not only for the players, but for the fans as well. What's it like having that community support and even, paying attention to the details like being able to play at night?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely tremendous. First of all, it also helps to have the exposure when you guys are able to showcase our games. So I appreciate that, and I cannot stress enough how important that is to our community or in our school. But to have a school district, starting from our superintendent, Dr. Stephen Beebe, all the way down to our administration, our principals, Mr. Kinney, Ms. Koch, Mr. York, and our athletic director, Mr. Louis Contreras. Super supportive on getting our boys and our program and our school anything that they need. It's not just us. When you come to a Buckeye Union, the facilities, are great there. They allow us to play our night games and allow us to travel and, take a week off before spring break to go down and play in a tournament and challenge ourselves. And so to have this support there, it means the world. And then, of course, when you talk about the community, Buckeye is such, even though it's getting bigger, it's such a tight-knit group.
Buckeye baseball coach Kevin Battaglia here on the Varsity Sports Show. Coach, thanks so much for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season, and we look forward to speaking with you again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Vince.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, and had a lot of fun this morning. Coach Battaglia, very, very giving with his time. And, when you're a coach, it's tough because you got to balance a lot of things. You have, number one, you got your team. You got to focus on your team. But within that also, particularly if you're a teacher on campus, you got to teach. You got lesson plans. You got grading. You got students. You got other students outside of the team itself. It's a lot of responsibility, and then you got to deal with you got to handle working within your administration, the people that sign your paychecks, the parents, the booster clubs, it's a lot of work. You got to promote your kids, and then you got to deal with us. And we try to keep it light, keep it fun, but sometimes we ask those tough questions. And Coach B's been real good to work with. All of the Buckeye families out there, and the family of coaches and faculty, staff, administration, as well as the parents. And you know what, Jason, I told you about this, but last fall, Coach Puniela's football coach. Great guy out at Buckeye. I got to travel with them to the island of Kauai, and we broadcast a game out there. We live streamed a game. I covered the team. I did the show from out there. It was a lot of fun. I ate a lot of rice. I always talk about the rice. I had to bring those pants, like the pregnancy pants that have the waistband, so that you can. Yeah, I had a couple pairs of those packed away, and I filled them. But anyway, so guys, Jason, what do we have coming up next?
The East Coast Report. First up, we got Eitan Ohana covering the Boston Celtics. And then we got Mason Collins talking about the New York Yankees.
I think the Yankees came to town recently. Didn't they play the Diamondbacks like this past week or something? They were in town.
I think they did.
Yeah, I heard that there were more Yankee fans than Diamondback fans in that game. But it was early in the season yet anyway. And so that's our East Coast Report. So we're going to transition. We'll pivot. Go to the East Coast. Take it away.
The East Coast Report.
Good morning. I'm Eitan Ohana from the University of Florida, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The Boston Celtics are a few weeks away from entering the most consequential playoffs of this little era they've created. I say little because it's been different from other eras we've seen throughout NBA history. Golden State won championships. Miami won championships. LeBron's second stint in Cleveland got them one ring and a finals trip each year. Boston's had so much success since Jason Tatum's emergence as a superstar, yet only has one finals appearance and 0 rings to show for it. Then came this year, and nobody has dominated the regular season quite like the Celtics. Not only do they have the best record in the NBA,
and are firmly in the first seed in the Eastern Conference, but they are over 10 games ahead of second place Milwaukee. All this success, however, can also be a curse if things go wrong. What if the Celtics got bounced in the playoffs? What if they lost to the Miami Heat again? At that point, you have to blow it up, right? These are questions General Manager Brad Stevens will have to answer, but if you ask me, anything short of making the finals and either winning or making it a highly competitive series is failure. For aforementioned star Tatum, this run will also be a referendum on who he is as a player. Is he one of the truly elite players in the league, or is he just another really great player who can't get over the hump? The good thing, and it's why we love sports, is that all these questions will be answered very soon. For Varsity Sports, I'm Eitan Ohana.
I'm Mason Collins, here to talk about the New York Yankees and the start of their 2024 season. It's been a long time since the Yankees have won a World Series, 2009 to be exact. But with the new addition of outfielder Juan Soto dealt in a trade this offseason, the Yankees are hoping to make it back to the promised land. In the season opening series versus the Houston Astros, the Yankees unexpectedly swept the Astros in a 4-game series, a championship team that has haunted them over the years. Juan Soto was exceptional throughout the series, hitting .529 with clutch hits over the weekend to give the Yankees the lead late in the games. In their previous series against the Diamondbacks, the Yankees found a way to win 2 out of 3 games versus the NLCS defending champion Arizona Diamondbacks. Despite early slumps from Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Anthony Rizzo, the Yankees have been able to manage with good starting pitching and a bullpen that is yet to blow a game. They've also been relying more on getting runners on base and hitting base hits rather than relying on the long ball. It's still way too early to project how the season will finish for the Yankees, especially with ace pitcher Garrett Cole still not expected to come back for a few months. There's still over 150 plus games left on the schedule. But after missing the playoffs last season, it's the start the team desperately needed. With Varsity Sports, I'm Mason Collins.
The East Coast Report.
All right, gang. Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS Arizona. Vince D'Alicio in studio with Jason Goldie. Some great reports. You know, I always wonder I don't always wonder, but we have interns that are out of state that are doing this virtually. And I tend to, we try to hold them to the same standard as our boots on the ground interns here. There's certain things that you can't do when you're physically at a place, but we do our best to compensate by giving some additional assignments and things and reporting and things that they have to report on. And I got to tell you, I've been very impressed with our crew, our two in Florida, at the University of Florida, both Eitan, who you heard from at the onset of that East Coast report, did a little story on the Boston Celtics, and then, of course, David Lopez. And David in particular has gone kind of above and beyond. He spent some time during spring break. He was in the Dominican Republic, and he did a report out there, did a video segment. And so you can find all of our stuff. Once it runs live, it gets archived on our social media. Particularly, if you head over to our Twitter, or X as they call it now, at Varsity Show, you head over there, you're going to see a lot of that stuff posted and see the amazing reporting by our crew. Really, really top-notch reporting, and they've done a great job for us. So really proud, and the intern coordinator out at the University of Florida, Eric Easterline, has been promoting us like no other. So we've had a great time in that relationship, and it will continue. We're bringing one on in the summer from Florida, and then a couple more on in the fall again. So thank you for that as we continue to grow and expand. And some new schools will be joining us as well. It'll be a lot of fun and be very, very interesting. With regard to this morning's show, quite a show. As we continue, this train keeps rolling. We'll be joined by, we did some beach volleyball this past week. We were out at Mountain View High School, home of the Toros, courtesy of Dr. Mike Oliver, the principal, and athletic director Joe Goodman. And we will have an interview. We'll be joined by Toros beach volleyball coach Heidi Hoops here on the Varsity Sports Show. Guys, don't go anywhere. We are still rolling. We still got another 30 minutes, and we love having you with us and featuring our amazing content from our amazing team. We'll be joined by Coach Hoops after the break. Don't go anywhere. Go Varsity.
I'll turn those picks into gold.
Wall-to-wall NFL coverage and the biggest stories coming to you from 3 to 5 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. With an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hi, this is former NBA All-Star and coach Doug Collins, and you're listening to the home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hi, this is Rob Maggs, Vince's life coach and surfing coach to the Beach Bum Beal. You're listening live to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS.
Check out the Doug Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Here on the Varsity Sports Show, we've been able to grow an amazing partnership with the Mountain View Toros Athletic Department, courtesy primarily from Athletic Director Joe Goodman, who's been very instrumental in supporting us and getting us out there and allowing us to support him and his programs and coaches and kids, and it's been a lot of fun, been a really good relationship. Joining us on the line is Toros girls beach volleyball coach Heidi Hoops. Coach, first of all, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show, and congratulations on the season you've been having so far.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
It's been quite the year. You're undefeated in section. You're 5-3 overall, and you're playing extremely well. We had an opportunity to catch your game a couple of days ago against Skyline, and you've got a few days off before you get back into action and you host Dobson. How in your view, beyond just the X's, or I should say the wins and losses, how's the season been going?
It's been going really well. I think we've had some ups and downs and things to work through, but overall our spirits are high and the girls are playing hard, so it's been going really well.
Aside from the numbers on the court, traditional volleyball with 6 on the floor on the hardwood versus 2 in beach. Do you have a preference? Major differences between the two?
There's a lot of difference between the two. I didn't have the opportunity to play beach when I was in high school, so I've only played indoor volleyball up through college. But I'd say one of the many differences is you have to be good at a lot of skills to play beach. You can't just, it's less specialized than it is in indoor. Indoor, you've got your positions.
Yeah.
And, you might be a setter or a hitter or a libero passer. But in beach, you have to be able to do all of those skills really well. You have to be able to play defense and pass, and you have to be able to have a decent shot selection in order to score and be able to set up your partner. So I think you have to be a little bit more well-rounded, I'd say, in all the skills to be successful at beach volleyball. And, you know, it's just you and one other partner. So if you're in a slump, you don't have 5 other girls on the court to pull you out of that slump or to mask your slump. You gotta get out of the slump with just you and your partner. So
speaking of, you know, 2 people on the court at the same time, who's playing extremely well right now? Who would you like to give a special shout out to on your team?
Oh, well, you know, my ones pair, they're solid. We've got Jordan Decker and Emma Fishbeck. They're, I'd say, phenomenal pair together. And Jordan, you know, she's committed to go play beach volleyball at GCU, so she's playing remarkably well, I'd say.
Awesome. Coach Heidi Hoops, Mountain View Toros beach volleyball head coach, undefeated in region right now as we're just weeks away from the postseason. Coach, good luck. Thanks again for allowing us access, and we'll look forward to bringing more beach volleyball action to our audience. We'll be covering your match on Monday.
Yes, thank you. We're excited.
Good morning, guys. It is Ben Munaweera here from Arizona State University. Today is Saturday, meaning it's finally time for the Final Four. Let's break it down. The first game of the day is between number 1 Purdue and number 11 NC State. NC State beat Duke 76-64 last weekend in what was a dominant performance by forward DJ Burns Jr., who recently even got some praise from Finals MVP Nikola Jokic for his gritty play. They now face a Purdue team led by center Zach Edey, who's coming off a monster game against Tennessee in which he dropped 40 points and they had no answers for him. The key to this matchup will boil down, no pun intended, to NC State's consistently strong front court defense, as stopping Zach Edey should be the main focus, forcing other Purdue players to step it up. If Burns Jr. can do what no other team has been able to do and play bully ball with his immense size and strength, Edey could be in trouble. But still, give me Purdue here to end the Wolfpack dream run. Next up, we have number 1 UConn versus number 4 Alabama. Now, no team is repeated as March Madness champions, not since 2007 when Florida did so. But right now, UConn is looking like they can easily do that right now. And that's not to discredit Alabama's chances in this game, as the Crimson Tide have been able to beat their opponents into submission with their pro-styled offense built around a fast-paced effort and efficient shooting, with them scoring 89+ in 3 out of their last 4 tournament games. The issue with their play style is that the Huskies are no stranger to said fast-paced game style. UConn is coming off a game where they demolished Illinois, even going on a 30-0 run at one point, and have been dominating the tournament, with their biggest margin of victory being 39 points and their lowest only being 17. Don't be surprised if Bama looks like they have control of the game early on, but only time has told that UConn will keep up with their opponents and deal with them swiftly. Give me UConn here to advance to the national championship. Thanks for tuning in. This is Ben Munaweera signing off for now.
This is Adam Small from the University of Arizona, reporting on the school's sports from this week. The Arizona beach volleyball team is headed to Seattle, where they will face 3 top 10 beach volleyball programs at the Pac-12 North Invitational. Currently, as of right now, the Wildcats are number 18 in the country. They will play California and Oregon on Friday, April 5th, and Stanford and UCLA on April the 6th. The Los Angeles Athletic Club announced the 2024 John R. Wooden Award All-American team today, and Arizona guard Caleb Love was among one of the 10 honorees. Love was previously named a second-team All-American by the NABC and USBWA. He was a third-team pick by the Sporting News and Associated Press. He's the third Wildcat in as many years, joining Benedict Mathurin from 2022 and Azulis Tabelis in 2023 to receive All-American honors under head coach Tommy Lloyd. Moving over to some football news, Arizona football brought the energy again in full pads for the first time inside the Arizona Stadium on day 4 of spring practice. The Wildcats were in the Arizona Stadium for day 4 of spring practice, and effort and technique were a main focus. Arizona put on full pads for the first time. Camp will conclude on April 27th with the Red versus Blue spring game at 6 p.m. inside Arizona Stadium. Lastly, some baseball news. The Arizona Wildcats, who are now 14-13, climbed back over 400 or the 500 mark with the dominant 9-1 victory over the New Mexico Lobos, who are 16-12 on Tuesday night at High Corbett Field. Arizona rode their stellar bullpen work and a dozen hits, half of which went for extra bases, to collect their 4th straight win. This is Adam Small, reporting for Varsity Sports News.
This is Jason Goldie from the Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. April is Autism Acceptance Month, and to raise awareness and understanding, all 30 Major League Baseball teams have some type of event centered around autism acceptance. The Arizona Diamondbacks will be having an Autism Awareness Night on April 12th at the game against the Cardinals at Chase Field. Events will include a special Diamondbacks Autism Puzzle Piece bag giveaway, autism resource tables throughout the stadium, and fireworks after the show, with earplugs for those fans who need them. The Houston Astros honored its ASD fans on April 2nd, which was Worldwide Autism Awareness Day. They had a special pregame ceremony and unique activities around the ballpark. They also had low-volume sections and sensory rooms to make the game more accessible, plus a special autism puzzle piece jersey to commemorate the day. The Boston Red Sox actually created a social story for their ASD fans who attend their autism acceptance games. A social story is used by people with ASD and is a step-by-step story with explanations that prepare fans for what their experience might look like and how to navigate it. It included things like which trains to take, how to get through security, and pictures of what the stadium looks like. The San Diego Padres held their Autism Acceptance Night on April 1st and had special seating for their ASD fans. Their Autism Acceptance theme game package included a special hat and a donation to a local charity, along with a post-game drone show. As a reporter with ASD myself, I can truly appreciate the efforts Major League Baseball teams are making to include and embrace people like me. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Jason Goldie.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio and Jason Goldie in studio today. Jason, can you believe it's already April? It's been going by fast, hasn't it? Doesn't it? It was like a blur.
Yeah.
Like when I met you and your mom, it was like last year, I think like August or July. And now here we are, 2023. Now we're 2024, almost halfway through. Can you believe we've been linked that long together?
No,
and you're
I
still
cannot.
here. Yeah, I can't either, man. Whew. So this segment, so you did this segment. Let's start with the music, because you have an interesting ear for music. I gave you that credit earlier about Bruce Springsteen and all that.
Yep.
Tell me about this song, this artist.
I don't just use 80s music. I use music from today.
From today, contemporary, yeah.
That's from 2009.
Okay.
Fireflies by Owl City.
Yeah.
And what I really like about Owl City, the man behind it, Adam Young, is self-diagnosed autistic.
Really? So his special talent is music.
Yes.
And arranging, mixing, because that's kind of a unique sound. And your mom was telling me off mic that you took a field trip to Yosemite when you were in Northern California. And what was everybody on the bus doing on the trip?
Yeah, they were playing that song Fireflies, and then they were also playing All Star by Smash Mouth, two songs I've always loved.
Okay, All Star by Smash. I'll keep that in mind. So, okay, and they were singing, right? They were singing
along.
Okay.
That was 2017 because of memes. Those two songs received second lives.
Really? Yeah. They came back. A resurgence.
To think, TikTok wasn't even around.
I know. TikTok wasn't even around, and Rick Rolled was probably well played at that point. People were getting so tired of being Rick Rolled that they had to matriculate to something else. So, Jason, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk to you about your experience this past week, because as we know, unless you've been living under a rock, what was in town? What was big this past week out at the State Farm Stadium?
I got 2 words for you.
Okay.
Final Four.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Final Four and your experience in particular, because you were very active out there. You were out there. You were hustling. So we're going to talk about how you were hustling out there. So nice. When we come back from the break, more Vince and Jason, as well as some other things. And we're on the last quarter hour, the last leg of today's journey here on the Varsity Sports Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll also have a report on Pat's Run. That's next week. We'll be out there. We got a Las Vegas sports report, and then we got a report, a little NAIA story on Arizona Christian University. We don't do much with the NAIA schools. We'll be doing more, so stick around, guys. We'll be right back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
This is Conrad Hamilton, head football coach at Desert Mountain High School. You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
The Varsity Sports Show is once again proud to partner with Grand Canyon University Club Sports in 2023 and 24. Join us in our coverage of GCU Club Sports on Saturday's Varsity Sports Show and the rest of the week. We'll cover hockey, soccer, baseball, rugby, lacrosse, and more. The Lopes are back on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hi, this is Mesa Community College Assistant Athletic Director Mike Lavella and Modern Day Invincible. You're listening to AM 1060, the Varsity Sports Show, the home of all your junior college sports coverage.
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alessio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests, Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS 1060 app.
Hey Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS Arizona. Vince D'Alessio, live in studio with my good friend Jason Goldie. Might even be a distant cousin. We don't know. We haven't done that 23andMe yet. We've got to do something like that. We have to do a little swab and send it in somewhere. Who knows what'll come back. Are you nervous about that, Jason?
Not at all.
Okay, all right. So anyway, enough with the playtime now. Now we got to get serious. We got to talk business. Jason, you had a chance this week to get exposed to a very special event that only comes around once in a blue moon. This past week, we had the Final Four here in town. What was your job? Where were you?
So I volunteered yesterday and Thursday for Westwood One at their radio row at the convention center. The convention center is like Final Four Central. They got a fan experience, and they got Final Four Way with that 3D bracket that you see online and on TV.
So what exactly, now you said you volunteered, what were you doing out there? Like what?
The official job name is Wrangler.
Wrangler, okay.
There were about a dozen radio stations from around the country set up in one big room in the convention center. I escorted some coaches and players to each station for interviews.
Okay. But you met some heavy hitters. Now, I understand Vince D'Alessio even made an appearance. Is that true or no? Why is he laughing?
I didn't see you anywhere.
Okay, no, because I wasn't invited. But that's okay. That's all right. I work behind the scenes, so I'm a behind-the-scenes guy. So anyway, but you did meet some other people. Who'd you meet?
So my favorite person that I met was Dave Softy Mahler from Sports Radio 93.3 KJR up in Seattle.
Interesting.
He was hilarious.
Was he? He was funnier than me too.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, okay. So who you said there were some others too? Some other were there like some sports people that you met also? Didn't you escort some athletes around?
Yeah, I did. I escorted 4 people.
Okay.
We got Florida State head coach Leonard Hamilton.
Okay.
Providence player Josh Oduro, who was in town for the All-Star game at GCU.
Okay.
I escorted Earl Grant, who's the coach at Boston College, and I also escorted Tubby Smith.
Yeah, that guy's a legend. Wow. Okay. Well, hopefully you got some pictures or something that we'll post them on our social media of Jason working Radio Row this past week.
I've already got it on my Twitter.
Well, share, tag us on it. So we'll put it out there. Anyway, we're going to go to a report. Next week is Pat's Run. We're going to be doing the show from Pat's Run, courtesy of the folks at the Pat Tillman Foundation and my old friend Doug Tamero out at ASU, and our very own Ella Wolter Sanchez, who is a senior at Arcadia High School in Phoenix. She really dug deep and is doing a special report on Pat's Run. Take it away.
This is Ella Wolter Sanchez from Arcadia High School reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Believe it or not, we are now in April, which means it's the month for an outstanding Arizona tradition yet again, the Pat Tillman Run. Pat's Run is an annual 4.2-mile run/walk that goes through Tempe and ends in the Sun Devil Mountain America Stadium. The run honors the legacy of Pat Tillman, who played football for the Sun Devils between 1994 and 1997. It was there he wore the number 42, hence the run being 4.2 miles in his memory. During his time with the Sun Devils, Tillman helped them through an undefeated season that led them through the 1997 Rose Bowl. Tillman was not only talented on the field but off, and earned several selections to the Pac-10 All-Academic Football Team. In 1998, Tillman was selected in the 7th round of the NFL Draft to play for the Arizona Cardinals. Although he was now in the NFL, he remained beyond humble and continued to give back to his community by volunteering across the valley. Following the year after the September 11th attacks, Tillman put his NFL career on hold and enlisted in the U.S. Army with his brother since he felt he wasn't doing enough to help his country. Unfortunately, 2 years after enlisting, Tillman was killed while providing cover for fellow soldiers. His late wife, Marie Tillman, created the Pat Tillman Foundation to carry forward his legacy by giving scholarships to service members, spouses of service members, and veterans. All the proceeds from the run go to this foundation. This year is the run's 20th anniversary, and the slogan for the run this year is One Legacy. A legacy is what Tillman left and is why 30,000 people come together each year to remember him. According to Dan Tamero, one of the run's founders and ASU Senior Associate AD, the run is more than just for the foundation. It's a reminder of the impact Tillman's life has had on the Arizona community.
If the starting point is when you passed away, I don't know of too many people that have bigger impact on someone on the world than Pat Tillman, because he passed away and the world came strong to honor him.
When you have a run to this extent going on for 20 years, I think it's safe to say Tillman left behind a large legacy. This run unites not only the ASU community, but communities beyond, with the option to join virtually from anywhere.
If you didn't honor, you're not going to remember. And before he was USA, he was ASU.
20th annual Pat Tillman Run is coming up next Saturday on April 13th. Registration for the run is open online until the day of. For the Varsity Sports Show, this is Ella Wolter Sanchez. Till next time.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another segment of Varsity Sports Show from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas with Diego Fernandez. Major League Baseball approved the move of the century with the Athletics moving to Las Vegas. The move has been more and more official with not only the designs for the new stadium, but with documents for the stadium being approved by the city of Las Vegas and the state of Nevada. On Thursday, April 2nd, the official close of Tropicana began on the 1st when they allowed gambling of cards until midnight and slots machine played until 2 a.m. right after they started making guests exit for the very last time. In addition, chaining all doors, entrances, and blocking off all ways to enter the casino. Although a staple of Old Vegas is leaving the bright light city, a new chapter in the ever-growing city has now started the official expansion of the Strip and sports in the city. Regardless of where the stadium calls home or not, it's definitely safe to say that Old Vegas is behind us with the last hand, dawn and midnight. From Varsity Sports Show, this is Diego Fernandez.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in this morning for the Varsity Sports Show. This is Tof from Grand Canyon University reporting in Phoenix, Arizona. And while the NCAA tournament is still going on, along with our other big college events, we can't forget about the NAIA colleges and their spring season. For many who don't know what the NAIA is, it's the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletes, and Arizona is currently home to 5 of the 241 schools. These schools are Arizona Christian University, Benedictine University at Mesa, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott, and Ottawa University, Arizona, as well as Park University, Gilbert. Today we'll be taking a dive into the Arizona Christian University's baseball team, as the team currently holds a 21-5 record, with ACU being currently in the third with a 10-8 record in the Global State Athletic Conference. As now, ACU and Ottawa are currently the only two teams in this conference, with the rest joining the next school year. ACU was on a 7-game win streak before losing 6-7 to Embry-Riddle and will face off Ottawa University in 3 consecutive games, with the most recent one being played yesterday. If anyone listening is interested in going to watch today's game, there is currently one game being played at 1 p.m. with the second one being played right after the first game is over at Ottawa University in Surprise. That's all I have today. Make sure to check out some of the local NAIA schools in the upcoming future, and as always, I'm Tyler Hatala, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Time for Vince's final word.
All right, you guys, welcome back for our final word here in the final few minutes of our program on April 6th, 2024. It's been an amazing show. Been in studio here, Jason Goldie, one of our amazing broadcast team members this semester from Cronkite, from ASU. And Jason, you did a great job sitting in the chair. What'd you think? How'd you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it?
This has been amazing.
Really? Is this something you think you could see yourself doing every week?
100%.
No kidding. Wow. Man. You know what? You're opening your horizons up. You're broadening out. You're expanding. You're embracing all the challenges that you have been faced with this. I mean, a lot of people get anxiety, and you've really done a great job with this stuff. So you had a good time?
I had a great time.
Awesome. Well, we had a good time having you here, and you make my job a lot easier, too. It's a lot of fun. Mom, thank you as well. And we've had a lot of fun with it. Guys, I want to thank our guests today. The guests are the true stars of our show. Our live guests, Coach Mike Jacobs from Thunderbird High School, the Titans. It's been an amazing partnership. Blake Benson, thank you for allowing us access, as well as the rest of the families out there at Thunderbird. Saguaro baseball coach Joe Muecke. I know we kid around with Matt Harris, athletic director. He's the guy behind the guy, and he does a lot of the heavy lifting in the background, and he truly is a selfless individual and a good dude out there, Mr. Harris. So he's a good friend. Please be sure, check out all of our archive content on Twitter at Varsity Show, as well as Instagram, Facebook, and even TikTok. Thanks to our producer, Mr. Aaron Decker, who's behind me, behind the glass. Join us back here next Saturday at 9 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show. And tomorrow morning, the link will be posted. We debut on ESPN Radio in Houston, 7 a.m. Pacific time, 7 to 8, 9 a.m. Central time. The link will be posted on our social media. It's a different show. It's all Houston, very local. It'll be a lot of fun. Guys, thank you again for joining us this morning. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll be out at Pat's Run next week with 30,000 of our closest friends. Have a great week, everyone. Vince DeLisio, out. Go Varsity.
Hey listeners, Vince DeLisio here from the Varsity Sports Show. We are so excited and honored that you start your weekends off with us. Our team is comprised of very talented high school and college students working toward a future in media. We appreciate your support, and any opportunities that we can to promote your teams or businesses will go a long way toward helping us continue supporting our talented team. We are a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and we use our platform to not only promote all of the great things happening in the world of sports locally and nationally, but also continue to promote and encourage future broadcasters as they grow in this industry. Please consider a tax-deductible donation to the Varsity Media Foundation. To find out more, please email us at info@varsitysportshow.com or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Varsity Sports Show, or on Twitter at Varsity Show. Once again, thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show. now a nationally syndicated program on the SportsMap Radio Network. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. ASU baseball continues their fight in the Pacific Northwest on KDUS AM 1060. This Saturday afternoon, join the Sun Devils as they look to give it their all against Oregon State. Coach Willie Bloomquist takes pride in the depth of his team's roster and looks to score ASU another win. Join the voice of Sun Devil baseball, Tim Healy and Max Rossiter, as they call the action live from Oregon, with the Sun Devils facing off against the Beavers of Oregon State. Pregame at 1:15 p.m. with first pitch at 1:35. Right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
We're here to elevate your eye care expectations. Expect to be welcomed. Expect to be heard. Let us take steps to keep your eyes healthy. Feel what it's like to be taken care of, listened to, and understood. When you want to see your absolute best for life, be seen at Nationwide Vision. Get 50% off a complete pair of eyeglasses. Schedule an eye exam today at nationwidevision.com.
At Cox Mobile, we know you're smart. You brush your teeth in the shower to save time, make coffee ice cubes for your cold brew, and wear goggles to cut onions. You also added Cox Mobile